but so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome to Palm Bay Live, celebrating 1 year in business.
Bob Medina here. I just want to take this opportunity Kevin's given me to say thank you. Thank you for instilling a trust in me, to selecting me, choosing me to be the next mayor of this great city we call Palm Bay. I really appreciate the opportunity. I won't let you down. I'll serve you with God, honor, and integrity. May God bless you. May God keep you. May God continue to bless our great city, Palm Bay. Hoorah.
Good evening, Palm Bay, and welcome to our first live interview. Special election 2022. Palm Bay decides. This is a great day in the life of our city. We are beginning this process of choosing our next candidate to represent us in seat 5. This seat was left vacant by the resignation of former Councilman Jeff Bailey. And with me in the studio today is Mr. Jimmy Backus. He is running to fill that seat. He's one of the candidates running to fill that seat. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
How you doing, Kevin?
Great. Welcome to Palm Bay Live. And have you been having a good day today, sir?
Yes, it's been great. I guess been contemplating this interview. Just waiting to hear the questions, what people want to ask. I want to thank you for having me on your show also. I think Palm Bay Live is very good. Palm Bay Live is very prudent. It's needed for the community. It's needed for the neighborhood, for us candidates and other areas of government as well.
Okay, great. So, Mr. Backus, I'm going to get right into it. residents of Palm Bay are aware of how the show operates. This is a citizen run initiative. Palm Bay Live is a 501c organization. And so how I operate the show is like this. I allow the community, because of COVID, they're not allowed to meet you. You know, some of them are stuck in their homes and they can't come and meet you. So when I created this environment, my goal is to try to bring you, the candidates, to the audience, to the community. So I allow them to ask questions, so they can post questions in the comment section, and then I'll bring them on screen. As long as the questions are, you know, something that is quite decent to bring on screen, so that audience can ask questions of you. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is the goal, and so we're going to try to run this for half an hour or so or more, and we'll see how this goes. But first, I want to start off by asking you, sir, to introduce yourself to the audience. Folks, so need to know who Mr. Backus is. Where are you from, and what brought you to Palm Bay?
You already know, my name is Jimmy Backus. I've retired from a company working 27 years. We looked over a few other places. I think Palm Bay was one of the main places we came to assist a young man in the ministry. It's me and my wife. Our children stayed back in Atlanta. I have 3 daughters, 1 son. So they're probably watching the show right now. And after I worked for the company, I went to work for a pharmaceutical company as an account rep. Came down here as a government worker, which I'm working for the government right now. I think Palm Bay is a crucial part of my life, because here I'm going to find my place for us is settling down in Palm Bay. I like Palm Bay. I enjoyed here. The residential area where I live in is very peaceful, it's very calm. And becoming a part of the process, the development of Palm Bay, is a crucial part of my life. I truly believe I can enhance and help the council that is there now to grow Palm Bay and develop as they want to go. As I said before, I truly do enjoy Palm Bay. It's not just me, it's my wife also. So we're just here building roots and building ground in Palm Bay.
Okay, so did you say how long you've been living in Palm Bay, Brevard County area?
Coming up soon, it's going to be about 4 years.
4 years. Okay. Awesome.
I know it's not longevity as some of my other candidates probably would have, but being focused on a position of leadership. As I said before, I managed the company 27 years. I managed it at the top level, hired many employees, encouraged many employees, promote many employees, dealt with the P&L. So giving me that understanding of what it requires far as not only delegating authority, but the business part of a company also. I have that experience.
Okay. What about your experience in the political arena?
My political arena, I've always had an appetite for a political arena. It is now me getting involved in it. I've been to countless city council meetings to see how the city is developing, see what direction is going in, instead of just simply putting my name on the ballot. So for the past years, even coming to this present, I've pretty much been at every council meeting there. It gives me an understanding of what direction the city is in, what direction the city is going in, and some future plans for the city as well.
Okay, so what have you learned when you were attending those meetings? What did you learn, if anything?
I've learned that Palm Bay is growing. It is developing. It's growing. They're fixing. They have plans to fix their roads, which is very important because, like I said, I live here in Palm Bay. I have a house here in Palm Bay, and I see them bringing in new companies, new commercial business, real estate companies want to come in, and I see the growth in Palm Bay very positive, even for the residential people that are here, trying to get permissions for zoning, wanting to build pools, wanting to buy more land. So I do see the mayor and the committee assisting Palm Bay to develop to that next level of where they desire to go, to.
Okay. based on what you've seen, you talk about the growth. You've seen the growth of Palm Bay,
Mhm.
and so are you aware that at the pace that we're going, that things are moving rapidly, obviously. So
Um, Go ahead.
my question to you is this: I don't know if you realize that the building department had to move out of City Hall across the street. Are you
Hmm.
aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, so um, at the pace that they're going, what are your thoughts on what the city can do to ramp up in order to meet the needs of the new, uh, you know, the new residents that are coming into the community? Because I mean, permits needs to be approved, things need to be moved at a rapid pace. What are your thoughts on growth as far as that is concerned?
I think is I think is very important. I see the mayor and the committee and actually moving the city forward, and we have to we have to be focus on the part that nothing happens overnight. You just can't give permits to anyone. You have to find out exactly what is the permit for, what type of integrity that person has. Are they going to be committed to completing what they ask the city for? I do see the city moving forth. It's not like I don't think they're for my question. I don't think their feet are asleep. I think they're moving as in a point much as they possibly can. They're bringing in. I see new commercial business coming in, seeking to get zoning permits and stuff like that.
Mhm.
After they have a discussion about it, ones that are very important not only for the commercial business, the growth, but for the residents within Palm Bay too. I do see the committee moving forward. I have to say that.
Okay. Um, right now, another thing that the city is there's a challenge that has to be met where this is concerned because from what my understanding, or there's a lot of vacancies that is not being filled, and this is not just happening with City Hall. This is happening across the board because of COVID. So, what are your thought process on how we can be able to bring people in, to be hired to fill these vacancies? Because like we said, the city is growing, so we need to fill these seats because we need to be able to, be able to handle a better customer service and etc. for the city. What are your thoughts on that?
I think for far as the mayor and the city reaching out to commercial businesses is very important for the growth of the economy in Palm Bay. But just like I was saying, just as you may do a job fair, you have to do a corporate fair also. Put letters together and send out to corporations of businesses and invite them in and let's get together. Let's sit down and talk about some strategies to develop the finances within Palm Bay so they can grow. It can employ more people. That's very important. You can't have growth without jobs, and you're not going to have growth without some type of commercial business here. The residential part, I think, is developing. I see companies moving into Palm Bay. I see a lot of land being cleared away, and I do see the growth taking place. A lot of people moving from different states, different areas within the country, coming to Palm Bay. In spite of COVID, they're not allowing COVID to stop them.
Okay. Are you aware of the road bond?
The road bond. I did look at. There's two plans. I've seen the road bond. I actually have two of them. Phase one has already started for in Palm Bay, the bidding and everything. Phase two is going to be is already executed. Also, February the 20th, the regular council did meet, approving the funding for phase two road paving. So they are moving forth in those directions. Yes, there are some roads that are not going to get done as fast as others. And I think the residents, as long as the residents see that the city has a plan and executing that plan, I truly believe the city can be patient in that process.
Okay, yeah. I was just asking if you're aware of it. So it's obviously aware of it. Do you know? I'm not going to tell you the answer for this. I'm going to leave you to try to get this answer. If not tonight, at the
Okay.
debates. Do you know if how much money we have in the road maintenance fund right now?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you know how much money we have right now as a city in the road maintenance fund?
In the maintenance fund, the road maintenance fund.
Yes, sir. if you don't know tonight, you will know for the debates. Just you can pass on
Okay.
that.
All right.
You can pass on that. So that's a homework that item I want to give to you to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, all right. So I think you talk about your experience, your managerial roles, etc. But what make you feel as a newcomer to the city that you're best fitted to fill this seat for seat 5? Let me
Um,
give you a background before you answer that. A lot of folks will say Jeff Bailey was a great person. Jeff, the former councilman that filled that seat, he was really he put a lot of thoughts in how he voted. Before he voted, a lot of folks admired him for that. And his background as far as academic world, etc., pretty much gave him some insight as his thought process, how to roll things out, and he thinks things through. That's what folks will say. So, what makes you think you're the best suited person to fill this seat?
I think I'm best suited of coming from, and this might sound kind of awkward, coming from one state to bring a better, clear vision of not just simply being here, and because longevity is not always the answer to fill a seat. We're talking about integrity. We're talking about dignity. We're talking about character, which is a true vital thing. We're talking about a person who has managerial experience, that have managed over 200 people, that have promoted people, as far as counseling them and giving them integrity, giving them the understanding of what integrity is as you take the next level. I truly believe that myself, it would be a great investment for Palm Bay. I come willing to learn, as well as having willing to learn, as well as having some plans that I would like to see implemented in the city council as well. I'm open to suggestions. I know that I'm going to be here for a long time. And I said that for a long time, for many years. I'll put it that way, for many years. I invested into Palm Bay. It's not, I came down here as an investment into Palm Bay, not just simply to live here for a small period of time, but the investment far as finances, the investment far as family, the investment far as assisting other pastors and assisting other ministries, the investment far as mentoring other young men as well.
Okay, so you're in a pastoral. You're a pastor.
I am an ordained minister, but I don't work in that. I don't work in that capacity anymore. I just simply assist some young pastors, giving them advice, giving them some understanding of what direction to take in their lives, how to mentor and to counsel people, how to guide them from where they are and to where they desire to be.
Okay, all right. So I'm looking at the comments. Let's clarify one thing. You moved here when again? 4 years ago, right? You said.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And
actually about 3.5. I'll put it that way.
3.5 years ago, and he does own a home in Palm Bay. He did say that. So I'm just clearing up some comments that I'm seeing. I'm going to bring up a comment that I see on this. I'm going to from Mr. Lockwood. Mr. Bacchus, infrastructure is vital to this astounding growth currently here in Palm Bay. What are your plans to enable the continued growth with infrastructure in the forefront? Are traffic issues grow, new residents adding to the increased traffic bottlenecks, the need for expanded roadways, including traffic signals, street lighting, and the safety for children with school crossings? Go ahead.
I'm going to answer that question based on once, as we start to build the infrastructure of the city, we've got to take these things in consideration, not just giving permits to commercial business to just simply build what we're building and not putting sidewalks in, or we're not putting playgrounds in. We're not putting places in where families can go and enjoy themselves at. That's very crucial. We need to take that in consideration whenever we allow someone to build in the city, not just say, okay, they're going to bring money to the city, they're going to bring finance into the city, but we need to look at the long haul as the city does grow and as the city does increase. How do we hold these companies responsible? You just can't just build. We're talking about, you're going to have to build some sidewalks. You're going to have to make sure that water is not running all in the street. You're going to have to make sure that sidewalks are built. You're going to have to make sure that things are in place so that it's not just infrastructure in and of itself, but we're enhancing the community that grows and develops together.
Okay. Okay, hopefully that response was okay for you, Mr. Lockwood. If not, please go ahead and add a secondary question if you like. And this is from Ms. Cheryl Wright. Mr. Backus, give a synopsis of your definition of ancillary facilities as it pertains to Gold Roads.
I live back in Palm Bay, where I came in first. I seen a lot of roads were not completed. They were building homes on both sides of the roads, but the roads themselves were not completed. And the main thing there, we need to give an understanding even to the contractors far as the real estate is concerned, as well as the roads. We need to implement a plan where as homes are being built or communities are being built, that these companies invest into the roads as well. Just don't build a house. If you're going to build a house, we need to get you responsible for investing into the road, investing into sidewalks, investing into lights. We need to hold these companies responsible, not just building a home, because you have a lot of homes being built, but you have these roads just falling apart. We need to somehow implement a plan where these companies can be held accountable for building better roads on the houses that they're on the land that they're building on.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for that answer. Let's see, Ms. Wright. Hopefully that question was answered. I have some more questions for you, sir, but I'm going to take a 30-second commercial break. So give me 1 second here. Let me queue up a commercial, and then we will come right back.
Yes, sir.
Please join us on February 2nd, 9th, and 16th for a round of Palm Bay live interviews for the upcoming special election on March 8th. And join us on February 23rd at 8 p.m. for the final debate, the debate that will set the stage for the March 8th election. Come hear what the candidates have to say. Join us, won't you? Yes, sir. We're back. All right, that was quick. Now, sir, let's get into it. Ms. Wright said no. I guess the question wasn't clearly answered for her. I want to get to a question that has been on a lot of residents' mind, and that question has to do with the Republican Executive Committee. They held a meeting recently to endorse candidates for seat 5, and you were invited, but somehow did not show up. And the chairman of the committee, Mr. Rick Lacey, stated that he didn't hear from you. You want to opine on that? Let us know what happened.
I'll just say that they did reach out to me, and I understand the Republican Party role because I've always voted Republican. For me, it's very important, and I'll make it clear like this: when I decide not to when I decided not to actually to take on that endorsement, I just saw some different point of views within the party itself. The party is still very important. I don't want to say anything against the party. The Republican Party is still important because I do support the Republican Party. But being a Republican candidate, and this is very unfortunate, is that some of the decisions that I've made, I had to make some decisions far as my character and my personality to assist the city.
Do you think your absence sent a message?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Do you think your absence, your decision not to attend, sent a message to them?
I think based on the discussion that I previously had with them, I'm not going to elaborate on it, but the discussion that I had with them previously, I truly believe that they fully understood my vision far as running as a candidate.
Okay. So did Mr. Lacey attempted to contact you anytime after that decision was made, or?
He did try to contact me. I went to one of their meetings before, but as I said before, based on the meeting that we previously had after the contact, I just realized that there were some discrepancies as I've chosen to go forth and running for the seat 5.
Okay. All right. I'll leave that alone and move on. Okay. Let's talk about what are your top budget priorities? And this is coming from former Councilman Brian Anderson. I don't know if you heard of him. What would be your top budget priority?
One of the things as far as infrastructure. Infrastructure is very important, as I said before. Just as you may do a job fair, I wanted to do a corporate fair for companies to come to Palm Bay to invest, to help Palm Bay grow and develop. Very important to me, and that's part of a crucial budget plan for myself. Because if there's not growth, the question is how does Palm Bay continue to develop? Growth is very important, and we've got to invite companies here and give them an incentive to come and to invest, to sow seeds in this Palm Bay. I believe that we have the opportunity to do so, and we should take that course.
Sounds good, sir. Here's a question. Will you vote to raise higher property taxes at any point in time during your tenure?
Let's say property taxes. I'll say one thing about property taxes. Unfortunately, taxes are going to develop, and we need to be honest and realistic about it. You can't have growth without taxes, and that's just business. That's just whether it's Palm Bay, Melbourne, it's the country. You're going to have growth. I'm going to try to find a way is that the residential people in Palm Bay does not encompass the full tax burden that the state is moving forward. That's one of the ways of bringing in companies, inviting them in to building cities, giving jobs, to bring down that tax level.
Okay. Wow. This question and I don't want to seem to like I'm badgering you with this, but let's just clear it, because we want folks to leave here very clear-eyed on what's going on. Folks are still asking about your home ownership. Do you own a property in Palm Bay?
The home in Palm Bay. We're actually in the process of owning a home. We've been in the home, but we're in the process of taking ownership.
Okay, great. So that clears that up. Hopefully that clears the air. I see the comments in the comment thread, so I'm just trying to make sure folks are cleared before we move on. So hopefully that answers your question. And Ms. Charlotte Wright is asking again to explain your understanding of GO Roads.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Explain your understanding. What is your understanding of GO Roads?
Well, I know that the city does have a plan, which I'm actually looking at the plan that they put forth. One of the first plans, which started in March 2019. I'm looking from Malabar to Hatch Street to Caribbean Street, Pine Grove Academy. I'm actually looking at the plan that they already started. I've been looking at the plan, which is a $50 million draw from $150 million on the GO pavement bond, which was passed by the voters in November 2018. The funding reimbursement follows the council's approval for phase 1 project recommended to go forth for the infrastructure. So I do see the city is moving forward. I don't really know what other way to answer it.
Okay. All right. I think folks are wanting to make sure you're on par with what is happening where the roads are concerned and what the city did back then as far as the vote is concerned, and where we're at now, and to make sure that we have proper oversight over the bond, the money that was borrowed to make this project happen, and the foresight that the individuals that was involved had. and where we are now. And one of them being Mr. Brian Anderson, that is in the Cummins thread. He was a former councilman, and myself and others. Let's see. If you're running as a Republican, you will clearly no. We're not going to ask that. That's not a question. All right. I don't see any more questions there. Let's keep on moving. Do you have a website, sir? Where's your platform housed? Do you have somewhere where you house your platform so folks can go and look at it?
I don't have a website. I didn't want to build a website. I don't want to seem as a how can I say it, as a political candidate. I want people to know that I'm a person that you can walk up to on the street, have a conversation with. If you wanted to go and find information, which I've actually met so many people already that have went on my Facebook page, Instagram, and literally called me because my phone number is already given to the city, and I've met quite a few people who've done that, and I think that breaks down a lot of concern of how people can relate to you. I don't want to ever seem that I'm a person walking around with a title on my head.
Okay. So you pretty much you're saying that folks can call you and reach out to you and learn more about your message and what you're about.
I pretty much have had quite a bit of people who called me already. I'll say that, quite a bit who have set up appointments with me, that I've went places and talked to them, sat down with groups.
Are you going to be having any town hall meetings, etc., with the community to introduce yourself? And
I've actually went out, and only thing I could say, I've met several groups within Palm Bay, and I haven't had any town meetings. I haven't had any personal town meetings with anyone. The groups that I've had have invited me, not just simply a small group, maybe one or two, as I've gone to restaurants, and they have exposed me. This is the group that I represent. We want you to come speak. We want to give a format of who you are, what type of person you are.
Okay. All right. Okay. So maybe put some thought into how you can possibly reach out to you, because folks like to hear from their candidates. They like to know what's going on. Folks in Palm Bay, they're very involved, especially in social media, and they like to ask questions of the candidates. So maybe try putting together a package where folks can get to know you better. That's just a thought of how you can possibly do that. So folks can get to, especially being new to the community, the community, that they need to learn who you are as a person, because then folks is going to be talking, and hopefully they have this video to look back at, and they will be able to get to learn more about you from this video. But just as a word of wisdom, maybe try to get something going. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They can learn more about you. Okay.
Okay.
Because they're very involved in this community. I can tell you that.
That's why I started
this Palm Bay Live, because I see that on social media, and the folks want to learn more about their candidates. They want to learn more about the city politics and what is making things move and not move, etc. And that's why I started this platform, to hopefully try to bridge that gap. So try doing that. Let's see. We have a question coming in, and let's see if we can answer these really quickly here. I'm going to go back to Ms. Wright. Hold on 1 second. Let me, for the newcomers, I see a question here from Mr. Greg Halbert. And he says, it's been reported Mr. Backus had some financial troubles in the past. If this is the case, how can we trust you to be steward of city revenue paid by taxpayers?
I'm sorry, say it again.
He's saying that you had some financial troubles in the past. I don't know if that's true or not. If you want to opine, you can. If you don't want to, you can just say pass, and we'll remove it from the screen.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that.
Okay, great. No problem. All right, there's a question from, let's go back to Ms. Wright. She asks, how many high schools are in Palm Bay, and how do you feel about security at these schools?
Security, because let's just be honest, times have changed. I graduated in the 80s. We had security then. Now times have changed. Unfortunately, you need security in the school for various reasons. Children come to school with challenges. family challenges, mentally challenges, things that they want to progress in that is not always set up for the school. So yes, you do need security in the school. She's asking also how many schools in Palm Bay. I really don't know how many schools in Palm Bay. I've been around Palm Bay and I've looked at the schools, but I've never given a count of them. I stay close near Bayside, and I've never given a count of how many schools are in Palm Bay.
Okay, no problem. All right, you can do that research for the debates. We're going to have a robust debates, folks. Don't forget to join us on February 23rd. All the candidates will be here on the 23rd for robust debates. And D.F. Jones, I've brought in a good moderator to help us with this debate. And so it will be pretty solid. Start at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the 23rd of February. And next week, we will have Mr. Alfie Aguari. He is going to be here to answer some questions in this hour, 8 p.m. All right, let's see. I want to make sure I try to capture as much questions as I have. I have some more questions coming in. Let's see. Mr. Brian Anderson asks, win or lose, do you plan on staying involved in Palm Bay government, for example, the 2022 election or board position with the city?
Oh, yes. Palm Bay now is I like Palm Bay. I actually, when I left Atlanta, I lived in a place called Duluth, and Lawrenceville was very kind of like Palm Bay is. So I enjoy Palm Bay. I'm going to be here. I'm going to still be involved in the government much as I possibly can to know what's taking place within the council, far as a residential person who lives in Palm Bay. This is not just a short-term thing that I'm seeking to get involved in. This is long-term for me.
Okay, so let me ask you a follow-up question on that. You said you're going to stay involved. How many of the town halls related to the comprehensive plan have you attended?
The comprehensive plan, I actually listened to. Let me ask you a question. Can you elaborate on that more?
We had some meetings throughout the city. Different areas. Involves all the area, the city leadership, the council members. They had some town halls around the city regarding the comprehensive plan, and I just wanted to know have you attended any? You probably weren't aware of them.
I've attended. Like I said, I've go to the city council meetings. I've been going every not Thursday, every other Thursday.
Yeah, not a regular city meetings. There were some meetings that was outside of City Hall, that was held throughout the city in regards to the comprehensive plan. I just wondered if you attended any. If you didn't, that's okay. You can just say no. Okay. All right. Great. I got the answer for that. All right. Let's keep going. Let's see. Let's go back to the questions from the audience, and I see a lot of questions coming in. Thank you, guys. Just give me a second to get to them, please. Let's see. Mr. Willie Wayne, hold on. Let me bring this on the screen. If you feel that you don't have a special chance in this special election, will you drop out and not split the votes for another Republican candidate? Well, hold on. Let me preface that. The elections are non-parties. It's not a party alignment vote. So I'm not sure where he's going with that, because that's not how the elections are set up for the city of Palm Bay. So it's not aligned to one party or the other. But I think I know where his thinking is, and I'm just going to leave it like that. But I don't know if you want to opine on this or not. It's totally up to you.
No, I won't drop out. That's a fact. I'm going to run this race completely. That's part of being committed to what you start. If you can't find a person, if the person who's running for a position feels that okay, things are not going right, and we put that person in office, they don't understand commitment, then on that personal level, no, I would not any other way to elect an individual. My commitment is not only to the city of Palm Bay, but finishing what I start. Now we're talking about integrity. We're talking about dignity. We're talking about character. Those are crucial things before you even before you even think about putting the person into that position.
Okay. Sounds good, sir. All right. I don't see any more questions. I don't know keep the questions coming, guys, if you have any. We're going to run for another 5 minutes or so. Is there any tell us about your platform? What is your platform? Do you have one?
As you see on the back of my, you probably can't see it. It says, focus on our future. I put myself in that position too. Because like I said, I'm about to become a homeowner. I've been here in this house for quite a bit of time. And I see the importance of growing along with the city that I live in. I see the importance of road development. I see the importance of reaching out to the community. And being a government worker, I'm always meeting people. I'm always meeting people, and they're always talking to me about far as the city development. Once people start to know you, those barriers break down far as communication. So yes, my focus is on Palm Bay. It's not. I don't see myself as just simply a person. I live outside of Palm Bay. I see myself as a person who lives in Palm Bay, who invests in Palm Bay, and I'm part of the Palm Bay. I'm part of the Palm Bay legacy. It's not about longevity. It's about your commitment it's about your commitment as you live in the city. You know, I shop here. I meet people here. I go to church here. I assist other people here. This is not just simply a pass by through life. This is a commitment.
Okay. With the future being bright for Palm Bay, obviously, if you drive the streets, you can see that the future is bright. Houses are going up, which is all good. But with that, there's plenty of jobs out there because of the COVID situation. There's a lot of jobs. But what can we do to attract like high paying jobs, tech jobs, etc.? I mean, we have Harris, obviously, but we always could use some more because our growth is we're booming. So what can we do to bring more high tech companies into the community? And what do you do as an individual councilman to attract that?
And that goes to the previous question I had. Just like you would do a job fair, you will find out tech companies that you want to bring them to the city. Sending out letters to corporate people on chairmen of boards of major corporations, having an invitation time where city officials within Palm Bay can sit down and talk to them about a plan to grow and to develop with the city. That's very important. You can't just sit back and just wait for a company to make a decision if they're going to come or if they're not going to come. When it comes to commercial business, you got to go after commercial business different than real estate companies. So you have to have a way to allure them in, to bring them in. Let's sit down. Let's talk about investing into this great city, being a part of not only where Palm Bay came, but where Palm Bay is going.
Okay. Actually, Corey, I did find your question. Thank you. And here's Corey Jenkins' question. And this is a good question. And because this is also on my list of talking about homelessness. Have you studied what's going on in the city where this is concerned, sir? Have you had a chance to?
I've last week, about 2 weeks ago, I was and I'd seen this homeless girl. They actually bringing a homeless program here in Palm Bay, but that is something that is very crucial. Like I said, a lot of the churches that I have been working with, far as feeding homeless, giving them food, giving them counsel. The city does need to take on that plan of assisting those that are in a critical time in their lives, not just having them lure through the night trying to find a place. We do need to have some type of infrastructure where we can not just house homelessness, but counsel them, mentor them, find out what people are going through mentally. It's not just about feeding them, because you want to get them to a point where they can stand up on their feet.
Okay. And some would argue, and Mr. Bacchus, that some homeless individuals, they really don't need help. Follow me. Hold on, let me finish my thought. Like, you will offer them help.
Well,
They may take the food, but then tomorrow they're still, at the same place. Or you may say, "Come walk with me to this shelter," or "Come, let's go here." This is not just my mindset. I'm talking about individuals in the community. I read the comments on social media. I might not opine, but I read them. So I'm just telling you based on what I read. I've been reading. And in order to pose these questions to the candidates, I just get the feel of the community in order to know how I'm going to approach these interviews. So let me say this to you. There's individuals in the community who have the mindset that homeless individuals just want to stay homeless. They don't want the help, even though you may approach them with the help. How do you bridge that gap? What would you do differently as an individual or what services would you approach in order to help bridge that gap? To make sure they understand that, hey, listen, for us to have a better environment, a better community, this is what this is what you can do as an individual. Go ahead, you tell me.
Well, one thing about that, because in the state of Atlanta, I did work with quite a bit of inner city and homeless people, and the very unfortunate part about and this is very unfortunate. Some people don't want help. You can only encourage and counsel and mentor someone who wants to come from where they are to where they desire to be. Now, you have to be committed if you're going to take on that role. If you're not going to be committed, don't take on that role, because it does have some mental challenges also. It's not just about putting a shirt on someone. There's some mental challenges there also. So when we talk about assisting homeless, we got to understand you need to have counsels on board also with this. People who have mentored homeless people, you need to have them on board also, and what it means to walk through that process. And as I said before, there's some, and that's very unfortunate, who does not want that type of help. And the only thing you can do is focus in on those who do want that type of help.
Okay, good. I get your answer. I'll leave that alone for the debates, because I have more to say on that issue, but I'll leave that alone for the debates. So study that some more, because our community is ever growing, and with that, you're going to continuously have this issue. And I'm hoping to bring Mr. Tony from The Source back on this program, hopefully for the debates. Prior to the debates, he can talk about his Dignity Bus. That's something you can also study and learn more about and what he's doing there. So hopefully we can get Mr. Tony back on the program so we can get some more information from him and what he's doing. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? Let's see. If I did miss any really fast. I don't see any more. Okay. If I missed your questions, please, I am sorry. We can always get you another time if I miss your questions, but it's been a fun night. It's been a fun night, and we learned a lot about Mr. Bacchus tonight. And I hope you guys learn with me, because this is my first time meeting him. And yeah, I want to give you the platform, sir, to give your final closing thoughts, give your appeal to the voters so that they know more about you, and tell everyone why you're running as a candidate for seat 5. So I'm going to give you these last couple of minutes. Give me a second. Let me set up the screen so I can remove these things off the screen and remove myself. And then you'll have the screen to sell your message.
Okay, I'm running. I'm truly running to help develop Palm Bay and take Palm Bay to the next level. Whether it's commercial business, whether it's infrastructure, to assist those who are already on the council. I truly believe that I have the knowledge of understanding what it means to be a part of that council. I have the knowledge far as the infrastructure. I have the knowledge far as managing people, also managing the finances in that area. I'm not looking for a title, not whatsoever, but I am looking to assist those who are on the council. I know that I'm a very important candidate. I'm a man with integrity, dignity. Like I said, I've been here for some time. I've met quite a bit of people here in Palm Bay. I'm not looking for a title. I'm looking to assist the people of Palm Bay because I'm one of those people of Palm Bay. I'm one of those investors. And I truly believe if you take this opportunity to vote me in, you won't regret it. I truly believe that if you take this opportunity, Palm Bay, those who are listening, this is going to be one of the best investments that you've ever done.
Okay, sir. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you at the debates on February 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Folks, please spread the word. That's February 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time is when we will have the debates, and we'll be started on time, and it will run for about an hour. Please make sure to be on time. And we have our next interview next week with Mr. Alfie Algari. Join me next week at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then after that, we'll have Mr. Phil Moore on the 16th. And I know a lot of you are asking, where is Pete Falbrero? Pete has declined to be interviewed for this session. I will be running his interview from the previous election cycle at some point between now and election day. So you guys, for those who do not know of him, can get to watch that interview again and get to meet him. But he will be here for the debates on the 23rd. So that's it. I hope I did you guys great service tonight of bringing this interview to you so you can learn more of Mr. Backus. I look forward to your feedback. So you can send me an email to palmbaylive@gmail.com and also send me questions for the candidates as well, for the upcoming candidates, to palmbaylive@gmail.com so I can learn more. You can ask your questions and you basically can get to know who your candidates are. So please join me each week for these interviews, and don't be afraid to ask your candidates questions, folks. Don't wait until after election day asking what happened, okay? Ask now. This is the time that you ask your questions, and I'm giving this opportunity to you, and that's why this program was developed for you, all right? So that's it for the night. Mr. Backus, thank you, sir. And
thank you, Kevin.
I hope it wasn't a tough session. You enjoyed it? Was I hard?
I did enjoy it.
Hopefully I wasn't hard on you. And
it wasn't. You gave me some good information. I'm definitely going to take it to heart.
Great, sir. Great. Thank you so much. And you have a good night. Have a
You
good
too,
night,
Kevin.
Palm Bay.
All right. Bye now, Palm Bay.
Bye-bye.